Hi loves, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, welcome. I make new videos every single week, so make sure you subscribe and turn on my bell notifications so you don't miss a thing. And this week I am going to be sharing some of my favorite matcha recipes with you guys. All the recipes I'm going to be sharing in this video are of course going to be vegan, but you can totally substitute out any ingredients for ones that you prefer. And I try to make these recipes pretty simple, so most of the swaps are really easy to make. Before we dive into these recipes, I did do my research on matcha and I would like to share that with you guys. And although in America it's kind of seen as like a trendy drink right now, I think the cultural importance and the history behind this drink should be appreciated and learned about. So I want to go over all the research that I did from what matcha is, the origins of it, and the health benefits to drinking it. But if you did just come here for the recipes, here is the time to go to if you are just interested in those. I really do recommend sticking around just for a few minutes to learn about this drink. I will have the links to where I found all of this information in the description box below, so you can check that out if you're interested in learning a little bit more about it. If there is any information I missed or I didn't get right, I would really appreciate it if you educated me in the comments, because I do drink this pretty regularly and I would like to learn as much as I can about it. So matcha, what is it? Matcha comes from the plant called the Camellia sinensis. The way they're grown is very unique. When growing the tea leaves, the farmers will cover their tea plants for 20 to 30 days before harvest. Doing this increases chlorophyll production and also helps boost amino acid content, which I feel like everybody nowadays is talking about how good chlorophyll is for you. High quality matcha has about 20 to 40 milligrams of chlorophyll per serving, which I mean isn't a ton, but it still gives you those benefits. After this plant is harvested, the stems and veins are then removed, and the remaining leaves are then dried and ground up into a fine powder that is matcha. This tea has been around for thousands and thousands of years and is a very important part of Japanese and other East Asian cultures. The origins of this drink can actually be traced back to the 7th and 10th century Tang dynasty. During this time, they would steam and mold their tea into bricks, which made them easier to transport and sell. Then once the tea bricks were bought, they would be made into a fine powder that the customer would then mix with hot water and sometimes salt to make matcha. After the Tang dynasty, the Song dynasty of the 10th to 13th century were the ones that really made this method of tea drinking popular, and because of all of that, it is still used today. The most popular way to drink this drink is during a Japanese matcha tea ceremony. It can also be called a matcha ritual. A matcha ceremony can be held for a variety of reasons, most of them revolving around pausing your day to enjoy the people around you, enjoy your tea, take a break from real life, and just relax. When attending a formal matcha tea ceremony, there is usually a meal put together for the guests, and after that they will wash their hands and mouths to purify themselves, and they will gather around the table where the host will start to make the ceremonial matcha. To do this ritual correctly, there are certain tools that are used to make your matcha. This includes a small bowl called a chawan, a bamboo whisk called a chaisen, and a bamboo tea scoop called a chashaku. After the host makes the tea, the bowl or the chawan is then passed around the table for all the guests to drink from, and after each drink they will make sure to clean the bowl and pass it on to the next person. This ceremony is meant to symbolize peace, demonstrate respect, and show proper etiquette, all of which are very important to Japanese culture. It's also a beautiful way to take a break from real life and just enjoy your surroundings and your tea. This tea is such a meaningful thing that even opening a new jar deserves its own ritual. Now, let's talk about the health benefits. Just to list a few, it's very high in antioxidants, it's shown to help brain function, it may even prevent certain types of cancers from forming, and it may also help heart and liver function. Also, again, like I said before, it has chlorophyll in it, which helps with healing and reducing inflammation in the skin. It helps increase the production of red and white blood cells, and some studies even show that it helps prevent certain types of cancer due to anti-carcinogenic properties. There's just so many benefits to drinking this, and those were just a few. So now that you have a little bit more information on matcha, where it comes from, and the benefits to drinking it, I am going to show you guys some of my favorite ways to enjoy matcha. I really hope you guys enjoy. On to the recipes. Really quickly, I just want to let you know that all of the recipes are going to be in the description box below for you to check out if you're interested. The matcha that I'm using is the 100% organic matcha from Matcha DNA. This is not sponsored, I just thought I should show you guys which one I'm using. I got this online at Walmart for about $10. It's not the highest quality matcha, but it tastes amazing and the health benefits are still there. Also, this bag is huge. I know this is going to last me a really long time, and for $10, it's a steal. So I wanted to start this week off strong by making a traditional Japanese matcha. I unfortunately don't have the proper tools to make this correctly, but I am doing my best with the regular glass bowl and a metal whisk. To make this, I used 4 tablespoons of hot water and a half teaspoon of matcha, and this bag actually came with its own little serving spoon, so that's what I'm using here. And after that, I just put it into a cute little cup and enjoyed it plain. The next drink I'm going to be making is the classic matcha latte. I'm filling my cup up with ice and about 1 cup of almond milk, and I'm making the matcha the same way as I did the first recipe, and I'm pouring that right into my milk and stirring it in. Now, I'm not a huge fan of sweetened matcha, but this next recipe is my go-to when I'm craving a little bit of a sweeter pick-me-up. This is my iced brown sugar nutmeg matcha latte. In my blender cup, I am pouring about 2 cups of almond milk, about a tablespoon of brown sugar, and a half teaspoon of nutmeg powder, and I'm going to blend that all up until all the brown sugar is dissolved and the milk is foamy. I'm then just pouring that into my glass, and then I'm adding that same matcha mixture from the first recipe and stirring it up. This is the perfect cozy matcha for those rainy days or even during the winter. It's just amazing. Now this next recipe is a bit of an experimental drink. This is my matcha DALGONA. To make the foam, I'm using aquafaba, which is the juice from a can of chickpeas. I'm taking about 3 tablespoons of that, and it works so much better if you put it in the freezer for about 5 minutes. It gets nice and chilled and it gives you a little bit of a fluffier foam. And I'm just whisking that up until it starts to look like this. After it gets to that consistency, I'm going to add in about 3 to 4 tablespoons of sugar, a little bit at a time so that it doesn't deflate our beautiful foam. Once the sugar is all mixed in, you're going to want to put the matcha powder right into this mixture and whisk that all up again for a couple minutes or so, just until there are no more clumps. Once that's all mixed in, I'm pouring in some almond milk into my favorite mug, and I'm just going to be scooping our matcha foam right on top. This drink is so pretty with the contrasting colors, and it makes this drink so aesthetic to look at. I really do enjoy it. The next drink we're going to make is more of like a dessert matcha, and this is one of my favorite things to make ever. We are going to make a peppermint matcha milkshake. First, I'm putting in a few scoops of almond milk ice cream into my blender with about a half cup of almond milk, the matcha mix, and the special ingredient 1/4 a teaspoon of peppermint extract. Listen, don't knock it till you try it, because peppermint and matcha is one of my favorite combinations ever. It is so underrated. You can also add some whipped cream on here if you would like, but this is already super sweet for me, so I just left it as is. Our next recipe is super fancy and it is so easy to make. This is my matcha AFFOGATTO. Affogato translates to drowned in English, and essentially this drink is just a scoop of ice cream drowned in usually an espresso shot, but to put my own twist on this, I'm making it a matcha shot instead. To make it just a little bit prettier, I'm forming my vanilla ice cream into a little ball and throwing that in the freezer to set for about 10 minutes. After that, I am putting our ice cream into this pretty little wine glass and pouring the matcha shot right over top, and that's it. And finally, my last drink that I have for you guys is a matcha lemonade. This is such a fun and summery drink, and if you aren't really a fan of that earthy flavor that matcha has, this does a good job of hiding that a little bit, and it's just so tasty. Also, it was such a nice day out, I had to film outside. So to start off, I have a bowl with about 4 tablespoons of hot water, and to that I'm adding in 4 tablespoons of sugar, and I'm whisking that up until everything is dissolved. Once the sugar water is all clear and there aren't any more grainy sugar pieces, I'm going to add in my 3 tablespoons of lemon juice, and once again I'm giving that a little mix. Then finally, I am adding in my half teaspoon of matcha powder and whisking that up again until it is fully combined and there are no more clumps. Now to put it all together, I'm taking my cup with about 3.5 cups of ice water in it, and I'm pouring the lemon sugar matcha concentrate right on top and stirring it in. And there you go, matcha lemonade. As a little bonus, I thought I would let you guys know about my matcha sugar cookie recipe. I made these beautiful cookies for St. Patrick's Day, and if you would like to watch the full recipe, I have the link to that video in the description box below for you to check out if you're interested. So those were all of my matcha recipes. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please be sure you give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, be sure you subscribe to my channel and turn on my bell notifications so you don't miss a thing. And I do want to give you guys a quick update before I go. I think I might start switching over to once every 2 weeks for my uploads, just because I am going back to work tomorrow and it's going to be pretty stressful, not gonna lie. But hopefully I will get a little bit more adjusted to it and go back to once every week. But I think for now it's best for me to switch to every other week for uploads. Just wanted to give you guys a heads up. And yeah, I think that's it for this week's video. Stay safe, stay healthy, make good choices, and I will see you guys next week. Bye guys.